In 11 years working at Disneyland, I watched the same money trap drain an average of $240 from a single family's vacation budget. It happens before they even walk through the front gate. And 90% of guests never realize it's happening until they're sitting in their car at the end of the day, looking at their bank statement and wondering where it all went. And I know what you might be thinking. You've probably been to Disneyland enough times that you think you've seen every angle. Maybe you've watched all the planning videos. Maybe you've got the apps, the strategies, the spreadsheets. But here's the thing. I wasn't a guest trying to crack the code from the outside. I was the guy standing on the other side of the rope, watching the exact same patterns play out every single day for over a decade. My name is Marcus Reeves. I just left Disneyland after 11 years. I started as a ride operator on Main Street, moved into guest relations at City Hall, and spent my last 3 years as a VIP tour guide, working directly with families spending $5,000 and $10,000 a day in the park. And now that I don't have an employer to protect, I can finally tell you what active cast members aren't allowed to say. If you enjoy this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss what I'm releasing next. What I'm about to share aren't scams. They're not even secrets technically. They're systems, pricing structures, upsell scripts, and psychological pressure points that are baked right into the Disneyland experience. The average family doesn't notice them because they're designed not to be noticed. They feel like part of the magic. But every single one of them is engineered to separate you from more of your money than you planned to spend. I've watched families budget $2,000 for a trip and walk out having spent $3,400. I've watched parents buy things they didn't want because their kid was crying and they didn't know there was a free alternative 10 feet away. I've watched guests pay full price for experiences that had cheaper, better versions hidden in plain sight. So in this video, I'm walking you through 8 money traps that catch the vast majority of guests who walk through those gates. Some of these will save you $100 on your next visit. Some will save you a lot more than that. And one of them, the last one, is the trap that I'm most proud of helping families avoid during my time there. Because I'll tell you what, the guests who had the best experiences during my 11 years weren't the ones who spent the most. They were the ones who knew where the traps were. Let's start with the trap that hits you before your trip even begins. The first one is the parking and arrival sequence. Most guests assume that the official Disneyland parking structures are the only real option, so they pay the full daily rate without thinking about it. That rate has climbed dramatically over the years. For a family staying off property and visiting for 3 or 4 days, that's hundreds of dollars in parking alone. Here's what they don't tell you. There are several smaller, privately operated lots within walking distance of the resort that charge significantly less per day. Some of them even include shuttle service. The official structures are convenient, yes, but convenience is the thing they're charging you a premium for. If you're staying nearby and you're already going to walk to the entrance anyway, the privately operated lots can save a family of 4 around $40 to $60 per day. Across a 4-day trip, that's a full extra meal at a sit-down restaurant inside the park. Now here's the second trap, and this one creates more frustration at guest relations than almost anything else. The Genie Plus and Lightning Lane system. Guests get to the park, see the standby line for their favorite ride, panic, and immediately buy Genie Plus for everyone in their group, every single day. Here's the problem. Genie Plus is not always worth it. On a moderate or low crowd day, the standby lines for most attractions move fast enough that you genuinely don't need it. On a high crowd day, it's almost essential. But guests don't know how to tell the difference, so they default to buying it for every day of their trip. That's $100+ wasted across a family vacation. The fix is simple. Check the crowd calendar predictions for your specific dates before you go. If the crowd level is forecast as low or moderate, skip Genie Plus on day one and see how the lines actually feel. You can always buy it later in the day if you need to. The system lets you add it on at any point. You're not locked in at park opening. If you're still with me, smash that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell. There's a lot more coming. The third trap is the one that gets families the hardest. And it's the one I had to watch happen at guest relations over and over again. It's the in-park food strategy, or rather, the lack of one. Most guests show up to Disneyland with no plan for meals. They get hungry, they look around, they see a quick service stand, and they buy whatever's closest. A burger and a drink is around $20. Multiply that by 4 people, 3 meals a day, plus snacks, and you're looking at over $250 a day on food alone. Here's what almost no one knows. Disneyland allows you to bring outside food into the park. You can pack sandwiches, snacks, fruit, granola bars, refillable water bottles, anything that's not in a glass container or alcoholic. They will let you walk right in with a full backpack of food. I watched families pay $40 for a churro, a pretzel, and 2 sodas when they had a cooler in their car they could have walked back to. The walk to the parking structures is short. Take a midday break, eat in the car or at the picnic area outside the gates, and walk back in. You'll save easily $100 a day for a family of 4, and you'll get a needed break from the crowds. The fourth trap is one that's genuinely sneaky. It's the way merchandise is positioned at the exit of every single major attraction. This is not an accident. It's called transition shopping, and it's one of the most studied retail layouts in the world. You exit a thrilling ride, your kids are excited, their emotions are at a peak, and the first thing they see is a wall of plush toys and souvenirs themed to the ride they just got off. Their brain associates the joy of the experience with the merchandise. They want it. They ask for it. And in that exact moment, you are the most likely to say yes that you will be all day. Cast members are trained to know this window. The price point on these items is also calculated. A small plush is usually priced just below what feels like a hard no, around $25 to $30. Here's what to do. Before you enter the park, set a souvenir budget per child for the entire trip and tell them up front. Let them choose one item at the end of the visit, not after every ride. Better yet, buy your Disneyland merchandise at the off-site Disney store before you arrive, where the same items often cost less and aren't tied to the emotional spike of the moment. The fifth trap is character dining. Now look, character meals can be genuinely magical for a young child. I'm not telling you to never do them, but the way they're priced and marketed creates a real problem. A character breakfast at one of the resort hotels can run you around $60 per adult and $40 per child, before tax and tip. For a family of 4, that's a single breakfast costing more than $200. Here's what guests don't realize. The character interaction at these meals is often a few minutes per character. The food is buffet style or a fixed menu, and the same characters are usually available for free meet and greets inside the park if you know where and when to find them. If your child's main goal is to meet a specific character, check the in-park character schedules first. Most of the popular characters do scheduled appearances throughout the day at no extra cost. If you genuinely want the meal experience, fine. But don't pay $200 for a character interaction you could get for free with a 30-minute wait. The sixth trap is the photo package. Disney's photo service captures pictures of your family at attractions, with characters, and at scenic locations throughout the park. They package it as an unlimited digital download for one price, usually around $80. Here's the catch. Most guests buy it on day one because the photographer pitches it to them at the entrance. Then they take maybe 10 or 15 photos across their visit. They do the math later and realize they paid $8 per photo for pictures that don't even capture their best moments. Meanwhile, their phone in their pocket, can take better photos for free. The few situations where the photo package actually makes sense are if you're celebrating a major milestone, like a proposal or a multi-generational family reunion, where you want everyone in the same shot. For everyday visits, your phone is more than enough. If you really want the on-ride photos from specific attractions, you can buy those individually at a much lower cost than the full package. If this video is helping you, take a second right now to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss what I'm posting next. The seventh trap is one that breaks my heart a little because it preys on parents who are already stressed. It's the late afternoon meltdown spending spiral. By around 4 in the afternoon, families have been on their feet for 6 or 7 hours. The kids are tired, the parents are exhausted, and right when emotional resistance is at its lowest, the park is designed to put you in front of the most expensive options. The premium ice cream stands, the specialty drink kiosks, the limited time treats with names that sound like you'll never get another chance. Cast members know that between 3 and 6 in the afternoon is the peak window for impulse purchases. I've watched parents drop $60 on novelty drinks and desserts in 15 minutes because their kids were melting down and they just wanted the meltdown to stop. Here's the strategy. Plan a real break in the middle of your day. Leave the park, go back to your hotel or your car, let everyone rest for an hour or two, and come back refreshed. The afternoon trap only works on exhausted families. Rested families walk past those kiosks without a second look. The eighth trap is the one I'm proudest of helping families avoid, and it's the one I want you to really understand. When you walk up to a cast member at guest relations, that cast member can pull up an enormous amount of information about you. Your ticket history, your annual pass status, your previous interactions, your dining reservations, your hotel booking, if you have one, even notes from previous cast members about how you've been treated or how you've behaved. Most guests don't know this. They walk up assuming guest relations is a transactional desk where you complain about a problem and get a yes or a no. It's not. It's a relationship desk. If you've been polite, if you've never abused the system, if you have a real and reasonable issue, that cast member has discretion to help you in ways that aren't on any public list. A complimentary FastPass replacement for a ride that broke down. A character meet and greet for a child celebrating a birthday. An adjustment on a charge that didn't go right. Even small things, like a free lanyard for a kid trading pins for the first time. But that discretion vanishes the moment you become rude or entitled. I had a mother come up to my window once. She was visiting with her son, who was on the autism spectrum, and they were having a hard day. She didn't demand anything. She just asked, kindly, if there was any way to help her son have a better experience. I moved heaven and earth for that family. I called supervisors. I pulled in resources. I made things happen that weren't technically my job to make happen because she gave me a reason to want to help. The same day I had a man scream at me about a churro line being too long. He got nothing beyond policy. Cast members want to help you. They got into this job because they love the magic, but you have to give them a reason to go to bat for you. Be kind, be specific about what you need, and understand that everything you do in that park is being noticed by someone. If you've made it this far, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell. It really helps me keep making videos like this one. Here's the thread running through all 8 of these traps. Disneyland isn't trying to ruin your vacation. The system isn't evil, but it's been engineered, layer by layer, over decades, to extract the maximum amount of money from guests who don't know what to look for. Every price point, every store placement, every upsell, every emotional moment has been studied and optimized. The guests who get caught aren't dumb. They're just operating without the map. But you have the map now. You know about the parking alternatives. You know how to evaluate Genie Plus instead of buying it on autopilot. You know that outside food is welcome and that the merchandise at ride exits is a psychological trap. You know that character dining isn't the only way to meet characters, that the photo package is rarely worth it, and that the late afternoon meltdown is engineered, not inevitable. And most importantly, you know that the cast member at Guest Relations is a human being with discretion, not a vending machine. That $240 number I mentioned at the start, the one that the average family loses to traps they don't see coming. You can avoid most of it now, not by gaming the system, not by being cheap, but by being aware. By spending your money on the things that actually matter to your family instead of the things the park has decided you should spend it on. You don't have to memorize all 8 of these. Pick the 2 or 3 that hit closest to home for your next trip. Start there. Build your awareness. Because once you stop falling for the traps, Disneyland stops feeling like a place that's draining your wallet and starts feeling like what it was supposed to be from the beginning. A place where your family makes memories that actually last. I'll tell you what I learned in 11 years on the inside. The families that left the happiest weren't the ones with the biggest budgets. They were the ones who knew what to skip, what to invest in, and how to treat the cast members who held the keys to a better day. They were the ones who understood that the magic isn't something you buy. It's something you protect. Last thing before you go. If this video saved you even a little bit of money or stress on your next visit, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next one.